we're gonna go over the WordPress cookie plugin I've been using on pretty much every client website lately. Cookiebot. The main thing I love about it is that it automatically lists and displays all of the cookies your website's using. On top of that, it has a bunch of cool features. You can style it to fit your brand perfectly, and like you're gonna see in a second, it's very easy to use. Before we get started, I have to mention that User-Centric's Cookiebot did sponsor this video, so thank you to them for supporting the channel. With that said, all of the views expressed in this video are my own, and I genuinely haven't found a better cookie consent solution for WordPress so far. Now let's first go over what makes it so unique, and then we're gonna take a look at how to set it up. When you install Cookiebot on your website, you can do so by using a simple piece of code or by installing their plugin. Both of the options are very simple, and that's the first benefit: ease of use. Second, like I mentioned, Cookiebot finds and displays all of the cookies your website's using. That's a big deal. It might not seem like it, but it is. Listing cookies manually just doesn't make sense. So you definitely want a plugin that takes care of that for you. Third, the free version is completely, well, free. It has some limitations. One of those is the limited styling options of the actual cookie pop-up, banner, whatever you want to call it. The other is that it only works for single language websites. So if your website is in 2 or more languages, the free version is likely not going to be enough. You get a 14-day free trial when you sign up for the first time, so you can try it out at any time without any risk. And after that trial is over, for small websites, the free version is a great option and you can continue using it. There's an affiliate link in the description that you can use to sign up if you want to. And I do have to mention this. Even though Cookiebot helps a lot with making your website compliant with privacy laws, it's obviously not bulletproof. This is an extreme example, but let's say you're selling emails you get from your customers to shady websites. No cookie plugin is ever gonna make what you're doing compliant with privacy laws, because you're pretty much breaking every one of them. So let's take a look at how you can set everything up. Just gonna move this mic a little bit. So once you create an account and you log in, you're gonna see this dashboard. The very first thing you wanna do is set up your domains. So let's go under domains and aliases and add our domain. I'm gonna be using my website, realeza.com, and I'm gonna keep the scan frequency set to monthly. I'm gonna press add domain, and once I do that, we're gonna go under implementation. This is where we are gonna get the necessary data to connect Cookiebot to our website. If this video is helpful and you want to see more content like this, please make sure you hit those like and subscribe buttons. It really does help me out a whole lot. Now first, we're going to take a look at how to use the Cookiebot plugin to add it to our website. This is going to work no matter what page builder or theme you're using, and it's very easy. And after, I'm going to show you the way I usually like to do it, which is by adding in the script manually. All you have to do is go into your website, go into your dashboard and go under plugins. Press add new, and then we're going to type in Cookiebot. Find it, install it, and activate it. On the left side in your dashboard, you're now going to see Cookiebot. Hover over it and press settings. The next step takes us back to our Cookiebot dashboard. Once you're here and you have implementation open, scroll down a bit and find your domain group ID. Copy it, and then go back into WordPress and under settings ID or domain group ID, paste it in. Wait for it to load and then press connect account. And that's it. Once you do that, scroll down a bit further and we're gonna find cookie blocking. I recommend you set the cookie blocking mode to automatic. That way, all cookies except those that are strictly necessary will be automatically blocked until a user has given their consent. Save your changes, and that's it. The second way, the one that I prefer, is by using the script. So in our Cookiebot dashboard, we're just gonna scroll up a bit. And here's what we need. Embed Cookiebot script. Again, we're gonna be using auto blocking. We're just gonna copy this to our clipboard. Then we're gonna go into WordPress, go under Elementor, custom code, and I'm gonna just add new code. I'm gonna name it Cookiebot, and I'll paste in the script. You want to make sure the location is set to head and that priority is set to 1. That way it is the first script that triggers when the website loads. We're going to press publish and make sure the conditions are set to include entire site. Now you hit save and close. I'm not going to do that because I already have it installed via the plugin, but this is the way I usually do it. If you're using another page builder, how you add in your script should be very similar. If you can't add in the script manually, you can always use the Cookiebot plugin. Whichever method you used, now if you go to your website, you're gonna see the Cookiebot pop-up shows up and users can control which cookies they want to allow. If I go under details, I can see the cookies this website's using. This takes a little bit of time the first time because it has to scan your website, and they're classified into these categories. And I can individually allow or disallow cookie categories. But if most users are like me, they usually just press allow all to be able to see the actual website as soon as possible. So let's do that. And once I press allow all, the pop-up gets minimized into my bottom left corner. And if I open this, I can see the cookies I consent it to. Pretty cool. I can withdraw my consent or change it, and if I want to change it, it opens up the pop-up again. So that's it regarding the WordPress side of things. Now let's customize everything. We're gonna go back into our Cookiebot admin dashboard, and we're gonna go under configuration. First, let's press templates on the top left over here. In here, we can choose some predefined presets. I'm from Europe, so I always use the GDPR option. Now, I'm not really familiar with privacy laws outside of Europe, but I'm pretty sure Europe has some of the strictest laws, so I always just use this one just to be safe. So what we're seeing here is the GDPR preset. Different presets give your users different options, so just choose the one that applies to your website and your audience. Once you choose the preset, it's time to style your banner. So we're just gonna select next, and over here you can choose the dialog or the bar options. Now for the free version, you will be limited to the dialog layout. So that's this pop-up, but I personally prefer to the bar layout anyhow. And with the free version, you won't be able to use the other styling options either. You can use them as part of your free trial, but unless you sign up for the premium plans, your banner is gonna look something like this after the trial is over. With the premium plans, under design, you can also choose a light or a dark theme. What you really wanna do though is choose custom, so you can add in your own colors that fit your brand. You can change all of the colors individually, and you can style buttons individually as well. We can also display our logo on the banner. And then under compliance, we can change some settings regarding the consent and the options we give to our users. Again, for GDPR, I like to keep all of these settings as they are because they give my users the most control over their consent. But you can easily personalize it if you need to. If I open up additional settings, you're gonna see we can also show a close icon. And last, we can choose the territories that will be asked for consent. This depends on your target audience. I like to set this to all visitors or EU and EEA only. Next up, let's go over to content. Over here, you can change the default language. Before you do that, you have to actually add the language in, but I want to keep it English anyhow, so I'm just going to keep everything as is. With the premium plans, you can add multiple languages, so you can create multi-language websites and have Cookiebot adapt perfectly. If you're interested in how to make a multi-language website, I have a great video about how to translate your Elementor or WordPress website. The link to it will be in the description. On the right, we have our text. You can change any of the text that shows up on the cookie banner, but I like to keep everything as is. I don't really see a need to change it. Over here, we have our general cookie introduction, and this is the text that shows up in the about section of the banner. Just like here. The one thing I suggest you change over here though is just adding a link to your website's privacy policy. Just over here. So you just add in the link, and that's it. Don't forget to save your changes. And once that is done, at the end, we have our privacy settings. Here you can style the little icon that shows up in the bottom left corner. You can also disable it entirely if you want to, or you can position it differently. I like to keep it as is. I usually just change the colors. And the declaration allows you to customize the template of your cookie declaration. What is the cookie declaration, you ask? It's a little piece of code that you add wherever you want, usually somewhere inside of your privacy policy, that displays the cookies your website's using and some general data about cookies. Here's what it looks like. Now, to really customize this, you will need sufficient knowledge of code, so we're not going to go over that in this video. But to find this declaration, we're just going to go back under implementation and we're going to select cookie declaration. Copy the script and just simply paste it inside of an HTML widget. So here's my privacy policy, and if I scroll down, I have an HTML widget already prepared. I'm just gonna paste in the code. The moment I do that, I get this declaration. So we have some general data about cookies, we have the user's consent information, and we have the cookies the website's using. Really useful and helpful stuff. One more important thing to keep in mind, once your free trial is up, if you want to use the free version, you will need to log back in, and as soon as you log in, you're gonna need to select the free version manually. If you don't, your cookie banner just won't work. So just keep an eye on that, don't forget. Now that we went over the whole setup, let's talk about some things I think Cookiebot could do a little bit better. First and most important, the cookie declaration isn't very responsive. I think responsiveness could be improved a lot, especially on mobile, so hopefully that changes in the future. Also keep in mind, you will likely need to add a bit of custom CSS to the cookie declaration to make sure you're using the correct fonts and sizes. In Elementor, you just go into the HTML widget, go under Advanced, Custom CSS, and just add something like this in here. Now this CSS will be available down below, so you can copy and use it for your own website. Just change the font size, the line height, the font family, and the color to fit your brand, and you should be good to go. The upper part changes the styling of this text, so everything up to here, and the lower part changes the styling of this, so the actual table of the cookies. The way I set it up is that it's a little bit smaller for mobile devices, just so it's a tiny bit more responsive. But again, you can change all of these attributes. Second, the styling options inside of the dashboard itself could be just a tiny little bit more extensive. Now there's a caveat here, and that is that Cookiebot, at least in my experience, already has more styling options than most plugins. What bothers me mainly is the inability to choose a custom font family. I get around that by adding in a little bit of CSS directly into my WordPress admin bar under Customize Additional CSS. That way I can set the font family for the different parts of the Cookiebot banner, and combined with the styling I did before in the dashboard, I can get everything looking perfectly on brand. I'm gonna leave this CSS down below as well, so you can copy and paste it in and just change the font family to whatever font you're using. Really simple. This is also an example of Cookiebot listening to feedback. I mentioned this to the team over at Cookiebot, and they wrote an article addressing exactly this. So that's a huge plus in my book. They prepared a short tutorial that covers how to style different parts of the banner by using CSS. I'm gonna leave the link down below so you can check that out as well. So really, styling wise, with a tiny bit of CSS knowledge, Cookiebot is great and easily customizable. So all in all, would I recommend Cookiebot? The answer is an easy yes. For small websites, the free version will work just fine. The only real negatives are the limited styling options and the fact that you're limited when it comes to multilingual websites. For larger websites, the premium plans make a lot of sense, and they start at just €7 per month for up to 50 subpages. I think that the premium plans give you a lot of value, since Cookiebot helps you with one of the most boring, annoying parts of running a website: collecting consent and making sure you're complying with privacy laws. But my opinion is just my opinion. There's an affiliate link in the description that you can use to take advantage of their 14-day free trial, so you can try it out for yourself and see if it works for you. If this video was helpful, first make sure you hit those like and subscribe buttons, and then go check out this video next. If you found this one interesting, I guarantee you're gonna find that one very interesting as well. Thank you for watching.